So, couldn't wait to get my shirt off again, huh?
We've said it in the past, when it comes to the Wolverine, there's no lack of badass moments. Dude's practically the chillest mutant on the planet, and why wouldn't he be? If you've lived through 3 different centuries, survived 2 world wars and the sequels to Jaws, then you must know how to be chill about everything around you. So we see a brawny Hugh Jackman in X-Men films chilling his way through all the chaos and the world-ending threats. These amount to some incredible Wolverine moments that are so badass that we've already made 2 volumes on them. I'll leave the link in the description box below. And now we're back with Badass Wolverine Scenes Volume 3. Don't forget to beat the like button to death and Hulk smash the subscriber button as well. Do it enough times and there might just be Wolverine gracing your YouTube feed with a Volume 4.
Help us. Fight with us.
Fight with you? Or join the team? Be an X-Man? Who the hell do you think you are? You're a mutant.
If you watch X-Men carefully, you'll find bad guys constantly giving the excuses of war. From Stryker to Magneto, they take a hot bowl of fear mixed with a bit of lying juice and paranoia powder to drive home how bad the situation is. So everyone's at war and Logan's about to go stir things up. The only problem? X-Men Boy Scouts like to play by the rulebooks. A rulebook that ironically tells them to fight for the same people who hate mutants.
The whole world out there is full of people that hate and fear you, and you're wasting your time trying to protect them. I got better things to do.
Only Logan has the balls to say what everyone thinks too daring and get away with it. Somewhere down the line, X-Men need to think about themselves and their own existence.
There's a war coming. You sure you're on the right side?
Sitting in chairs and pondering over situations haven't done anyone any good, and Logan's ready to take the highly innovative and radical way of finding Jean Grey by,
the traditional way. Look.
It's the Cyclops' car.
Oh yeah?
So Stryker's infiltrated X-Mansion and Logan needs to leave. But he has a few annoying little mutants with him and he has to babysit them. Out goes Rebel Logan and in comes badass elder brother Logan. When he gets time from playing hide and seek with his eternal love Stryker, Logan runs down the parking lot. Pyro, being the edgy kid that he is, wants to drive, but not when Daddy Logan's in charge.
I'm driving.
Maybe next time.
And of all the cars that are available, it has to be Cyclops' car. So Logan shows little mercy and storms off like it's nothing. When Logan sees something that Cyclops is, he just goes full communist and claims it as our own thing. I mean, just look at it. First Jean Grey, then his bike, and now his car. Logan just loves to mess with Cyclops, doesn't he?
So you were always an asshole.
I take it we're best buddies in the future.
A rule of thumb is that when Eric and Charles are having a full-fledged lovers' quarrel, you don't get involved. Unless, of course, you're Wolverine. So the old mutants have sent Logan to convince their younger selves to be less arrogant pricks. Logan's been doing a fine job not poking his nose everywhere, but when Eric and Charles were going at each other in the plane, it's just chaos. Granted, they had a lot of bad blood and Eric's anger was justified, but the way Logan conducted himself in a near-death scenario is so badass. First of all, if Wolverine wants a piece of paper in front of him, you don't get to take it away from him. And Magneto, after he's done pushing everyone to death, he calms himself down and Logan gives his 2 cents. That Magneto is...
You're always an asshole.
Now, you'd think you should stop mocking an angry Magneto, but not Logan. He even goes one step further and asks Eric to clean the mess he's created. I mean, come on. You're just sitting there ordering around Magneto. Even Eric couldn't believe what was happening.
Want to pick all that shit up?
Okay, now it's time for some disturbing moments. Logan's Weapon X flashbacks are everywhere in X-Men movies. The Origins actually showed us what happened back there, but it also ruined the gravity and dark tone of the flashbacks like this one. So Logan definitely has a tragic past. Being forcefully coated with adamantium from within is just a tiny part of it. As we see at the end of Origins, Logan doesn't remember anything about his past. Imagine going through so much pain and loss and not even knowing where you came from. The bloody hands and claws are the stuff of nightmares, and it's enough to keep a grown-ass man awake at night. This flashback scene is already so painful to watch, then think what Logan must have felt when he lived through the experiments and still survived it anyway. Logan is a true badass.
Professor I know would never turn his back on someone who lost their path, especially someone he loved.
Days of Future Past gave us some iconic moments, including the one where young Charles meets old Charles and they have a world-saving TED Talk. But before that, Wolverine tried something on the similar lines to convince Charles, and he almost made it. So a clinically depressed Charles has made X Mansion a shit show. His caretaker Hank is the only one holding his shit together, and everything's just, well, falling apart. So Logan makes Charles understand everything that's happened, but Charles is too far down the rabbit hole to come back up and help others like he normally would. So when Logan fires him up for giving up on his loved ones, Charles comes back and returns the favor.
Fuck off.
Boy, oh boy. Logan sure doesn't like someone owning him, and he goes full animal.
Listen to me, you little shit. If you want to wallow in self-pity and do nothing, then you're gonna watch the same thing, you understand?
Not gonna lie, that was as hard-hitting a speech you can give to anyone, and an angry Logan really nailed it.
Boyfriend? So how do you guys...
Well, we're still working on that.
Let's face it, in the good old days, X Mansion was like one big old happy family with laughter, mirth, and just good vibes all round. On odd days though, it's as dysfunctional as they come. Anyway, let's focus on the wholesome days. Logan returns home and receives a grand and lovely welcome. So first he ruins Bobby's first shot at kissing Rogue by stealing all her attention, and then steals Jean's heart from Scott again.
Hi, Logan.
Hi, Gene.
Suffice to say, the girls are so happy to see Logan again, but the guys, not so much. And why would they? An alpha male like the Wolverine steals everyone's thunder. Logan commands respect from everyone, and the way he receives a hero's welcome just goes on to show how much loved he is.
Aren't you gonna welcome me home? Your bike needs gas. I know how you feel.
Don't.
When Gene died, I said don't. Maybe it's time for us to move on.
Scott loves Jean. Jean loves Scott. Jean also kinda likes Logan, and Logan sure wants to get in Jean's pants from the first moment he laid eyes on her. Overall, a high school musical in the X-Men universe. But unlike other romantic comedies, people die, and here it was Jean. So things go darker than the Dark Phoenix, and we have mutants grieving, like extremely grieving, but no one more than Scott himself. Jean and Scott were a real thing, no matter how inconsiderate Logan was. So Scott's leaving X Mansion, and Logan straight up tells him to chin up and move on? Nah, mate. Scott's not having any of that and gives a weirdly apt reply.
Not everybody heals as fast as you, Logan.
To be fair, Logan did like Jean as well, and he also had a fair share of ups and downs, so trying to help Scott was pretty big of Logan.
I didn't ask you to.
You don't know what it's like to be afraid of your powers. Be afraid to get close to anybody.
Yeah, I do.
We mostly see Logan giving savage replies or literally savaging through people. So when he shows his nice side, it's always interesting. And with Rogue, he's always so nice. Logan and Rogue share a beautiful sibling equation, and Logan always looks after her. So when Rogue leaves X Mansion, Logan comes up to her to give her clarity on her decision. It's all about doing what you want to do, not what others want you to do.
If you want to go, then go. Just be sure it's what you want.
Logan's pretty understanding of Rogue's struggles and gives nuanced advice instead of forcing her to stay, something Charles Xavier usually does. He even calls her by her real name, Marie. But seriously though, what's up with people leaving X Mansion and Wolverine coming up to them and confronting them? Certified Keanu Reeves moment there from Logan.
Shouldn't you be telling me to stay?
I'm not your father. I'm your friend.
So we know Wolverine is savage, right? Not just with his claws, but with his mouth as well. He doesn't spare a chance to sarcastically roast someone, even if that person is Professor X himself. This is one of the earliest scenes of Logan coming to know about X-Men, X Mansion, and a lot of other X things. Part of the fun is the names of mutants. Storm, Rogue, Raven, yeah, it's pretty easy to make fun of these names, isn't it? So Logan doesn't have any idea of how everything works, so he just pieces it together that Storm controls Storm and Lightning, so her name is Storm. By that logic, Professor X should be
Wheels?
Logan's so badass that he doesn't even spare a thought for Professor's disabilities and goes straight for the things that meet his eyes. But obviously, after that, Charles Xavier shows what he's capable of and what the Academy's all about. But we love how an uninformed Logan just straight up makes a joke on the Professor himself.
Want to get out of my way?
Who's the furball?
Hank McCoy, Secretary of Mutant Affairs.
Right, the secretary.
When an animal meets another, things heat up. And when Beast meets Wolverine, shit goes over the roof. The thing is, old Senator Hank's nowhere close to the young, scrawny kid Hank. He's more serious, confident, and has an air about himself, making him an invincible foe to Wolverine's deprecating humor. So when the Professor introduces Logan to Hank McCoy, he makes the first move by mentioning Wolverine's animalistic persona. Never one to shy away from a quip, Wolverine quickly mentions the irony in it.
I hear you're quite an animal.
Look who's talking.
The reaction on Beast's face was gold. No one gets to take a dig at the Wolverine and expect nothing in return from him. Wolverine's fast, both in his fistfights and roasting matches.
My boy, I have been fighting for mutant rights since before you had claws.
Did he just call me boy?
Hugh Jackman brought an uber cool personality to an already awesome Wolverine, and the result is right there in front of us. So click the card on the top right to check out the Wolverine playlist that includes his badass moments as well as fights, and tell us if we've missed any scenes. Enough new scenes and the TV Regent will be back here with Volume 4. Until then, peace out, mutants.